Here we go. Okay, so again, let's start talking about our SBA. So the SBA is the same SBA for English A, is the same for English B. So on the positive side, you will actually have one less SBA to do if you're doing English A and English B. On the negative side, if you do poorly in the SBA, you will do poorly in 2 subjects instead of 1. So your SBA is 21% of your total score. So 21% out of the entire score for both English A and English B comes from your SBA. It is called in your syllabus, and I strongly suggest that you download your syllabus. You have a copy of your syllabus so you know what you're supposed to know for your exam. It's called paper 031 in the syllabus. It is the alternative to paper 032, or also which is commonly called paper 3. So if you are a private candidate, and I know some students, even while they are in school, they write a January exam for practice or whatever other reason, you of course will not be using your SBA, you'll be writing paper 3. And it is 45 marks as a raw score. So that 45 marks is converted to 21%. Moving along now, let's go into choosing our topic. Choosing your topic is extremely important because it guides you along the entire project. First thing, any topic that can be researched can be chosen. It could be a topic that affects you in your country. It could be a topic that affects us in the Caribbean. It could be a topic that affects us globally. There is no limit. So you do not have to limit yourself to something internationally if you find something interesting locally. Any topic that can be researched. Notice it can be researched, right? Not something that just comes to your mind. Second thing, when you are choosing your topic or your theme, there should be at least 3 subtopics or themes or sub-themes. Because remember, for your English SBA, you will be doing piece of it as a group, and the rest of it will be done as an individual. So what you do, your plan of investigation, your 3 reflections are done as individuals, as an individual piece. Also your, what do you call this again? The oral presentation. Your group written report is done as a group. So there's only one part of the SBA that you do as a group. Now, when you're choosing a topic, as I said, it is important to make sure you have sub-themes, because if you don't have enough sub-themes or subtopics, the group can't choose it because a member will not have a topic to talk about. So just make sure you could get at least 3, or if your group is 5, if your group is 4, if your group is 6, how much ever, make sure if you're choosing a topic as a group, that you could get a subtopic or a sub-theme for everyone. You can't leave someone stranded. The next thing is that your subtopics or your sub-themes, they must be related to your topic or your theme, and they must also be related to each other. Again, very important. Your subtopics or sub-themes must be related to your topic or your theme or to each other. So let me give you an example here. Very common issue, something we all deal with, online learning. So online learning is your topic or your theme. Your subtopics or your sub-themes are challenges of online learning, benefits of online learning, how to improve online learning. So we are assuming this group only has 3 people in it. Notice something. Challenges of online learning is related to online learning and also related to the other subtopics as well. The topic of benefits of online learning is related to online learning, but also to the other subtopics as well. And the same thing goes to how to improve online learning. It's related to all the other subtopics, but also to your main theme as well. So make sure that this happens. So at this point, let me just get some people involved. So I have 3 subtopics already for the topic of online learning. Anybody want to suggest another subtopic we could probably use in this? You could type if you want, or you could unmute yourself and give me an answer. So we have challenges of online learning, benefits of online learning, how to improve online learning. Anybody have another suggestion if you want to have another subtopic here?
Advantages of online learning.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Advantages of online learning, sir.
Advantages will come under benefits of online learning. It's just a change in the word. So you are under benefits of online learning. Anyone else want to give it a shot? If you were in this group and you need to get a topic for another member, what would you give them? What would you come up with to suggest? Okay, so one of the things that could work out. Sorry, go ahead. Someone was going to tell me something.
Practice of online learning.
Sorry, could you repeat that again?
Practice.
Practice of online learning?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
The work. Practice and how to do the work online.
Okay, I could see where you're going. You could say online, probably platforms for online learning, because we use different platforms, and every different platform does give a different experience. That could be one. We could also have.
Yes, so like the different apps.
Right, good. So we have platforms for online learning. We could also have making online learning more interesting, because we know that's a complaint. It's some people say it's the same thing, you're just speaking over a computer. So look, you see how we are able to find even more subtopics here. So you got to really sit down with your group and think about these things. So before you rush and look for a topic or decide on a topic, make sure you are able to get a subtopic for everyone in the group. If you're short, you have 2 choices. You get rid of somebody in the group, which I know you may not do, or you change your topic, or you really try to find another topic, a subtopic that could work. At this point in time, let me just stop a minute, and if anyone has any question, you could go ahead and ask. And you could type a question as well if you prefer to. All right, so it seems everybody's okay so far. So that's it regarding our topics. Remember, our topic is important because that guides us through our entire project. Moving along now, everybody must have a cover page. Now, we in CXE have a big problem with cover pages because many students don't put the correct information for us. So it is up to you, students, to make sure your information is here, because sometimes we're getting our SBA and there is no cover page. So we don't know who does this belong to. So who are we going to give the marks to? That's something important. So everybody just make a note of this. Your cover page must have your candidate name, which is your full name, your candidate number, your school gives you that, your center number, your school gives you that, your center name, which is obviously your school, your center number, your school gives you that. The year of examination, so those of you who are writing CSEC next year, it will be 2022. Those of you who are in Form 4 will be 2023. the teacher and subject, the teacher and subject. So you'll put the name of your teacher, Mr. or Miss so-and-so. The subject will be English A, or English A and B if you're doing both subjects. Then you have your topic. So you're writing your topic and your subtopic, of course, and the territory, which is the country that you belong to. Make sure and have this in your project. That's what I tell students. Put that on your first page from the beginning and save that. So you will never forget it when it's time to submit to your teacher, because you know sometimes you're in a rush and you forget to put in that. So that we can make sure and give you the mark that you deserve and not have to find a person to match the project. Right? Another thing that we have that some people do, which they should not do. Now, we know that you are in a group for the SBA. Some people put the names of everybody in their group. We only want your name only. If you submit it, if you wrote the plan of investigation and the 3 reflections, that's your name only. We don't want the other student's name because it will cause a mix-up. So make sure don't do that, so we will not have to look for your work. And I'll be honest with you, many times when we check back the school and ask the school to resubmit, we don't get it back. So you actually end up losing marks unnecessarily because we don't know who this belongs to. So your layout now. Your SBA should have these 13 parts of it. Right? So these are the 13 parts that your SBA should have so that it can be properly checked when it arrives at CXC. The first thing I expect to see in your SBA is your plan of investigation, which is, of course, our next part of our series. The second thing is Artifact 1, followed by Artifact 2, followed by Artifact 3. And we're going to speak about your artifacts just now in today's session, which is the 3 pieces that are related to your subtopic. Your Reflection 1, Reflection 2, and Reflection 3. Of course, your Reflection 1 and Reflection 2, they are related to your 3 artifacts. Reflection 3 is about your experience working in a group and your experience researching the topic. What have you learned? What new things have you learned? How have your opinions changed? Then, number 8, 9, and 10, written report Artifact 1, written report Artifact 2, and then that's supposed to be written report Artifact 3. So you have to choose as a group 3 artifacts to talk about in your group written report. Don't worry, we will have a session on this, but I'm just telling you up front so that you will know what's going on. Then you have your plan of oral presentation, and then finally a bibliography. Make sure your SBA is laid out like this, so you will have everything when it comes to CXC. So we will be able to moderate it and make sure the mark given is a mark that you deserve. At this point, let me just stop again. Does anyone have any questions before we move on? Okay, and again, if you don't want to use your mic, you could just put it on the chat. So again, we have our 13 parts of our SBA that we should have. Make sure you have all of them when you are submitting your work. We're going now to the artifacts, or what some people call the stimuli. The artifacts or stimuli are 3 pieces of information related to your subtopic. I want to stress your artifacts or stimuli must be related to your subtopic, not your general topic. So as we have before here, our general topic is online learning. So when you get in 3 artifacts or stimuli, I do not expect you, and it will be incorrect for you, to submit 3 artifacts on online learning. If whoever is doing challenges of online learning, we want 3 artifacts on the challenges of online learning, 3 artifacts on the benefits of online learning, 3 artifacts on how to improve online learning, 3 artifacts on platforms for online learning, 3 artifacts for how to make online learning more interesting. So again, remember that, students, your artifacts must be related to the subtopic, not the general theme. That's a mistake that we have noticed a lot happening. I see that Miss Alexander Andrews, one of my colleagues at CXE, is here. Miss, would you like to add anything before I continue?
Not at the moment.
Okay, then.
But I just want to endorse to those listening that this is very crucial information that is being shared. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss, and feel free to step in at any time and add. So we have some suggestions here, some things you could use. You could use a newspaper or magazine article. You could use a poem, lyrics from a song, a piece from a novel, a piece from a short story, a poster, a flyer, a speech by someone, an advertisement, a comic strip. Any of these things you could use. I want to mention something at this point in time. You are allowed to use videos. But here's a little issue with videos. Many times the videos do not have language strategies, which we are going to come up right in the next slide. So many students have a video and the video does not have a language strategy that they are required to speak about later on in the SBA. So I'm coming to that now. So again, these are 10 things you could use, and I strongly suggest that you seriously try to find one of each. Okay? These give you the best chance of scoring well in reflection 2 and reflection 1. Right? Because they are easy to find the language strategy. So let's go on and let me discuss that a little more. So firstly, you cannot have... Okay, so good question. Thank you. What about Google, like the internet? Now, the Google is what you call it, a search engine. So let me go back to this now. Good point. Google is a search engine. You could use Google and find a newspaper article because remember, newspapers are online. You could use Google and find a poster or a flyer or a speech or advertisement or a comic strip. So Nash Singh, you understand that? Nash, you understand that, right? So Google could be used to find the lyrics of a song or a piece of a novel or a short story or a poem. So of course we expect you to use the internet. And of course I'll come to that part about your sources when I speak about plan of investigation. But you could use the internet and find. You could use the internet and find all these things. Okay? So that's the thing. So Google is your means to research. And we do expect you to use the internet a lot. In fact, I'll be very much surprised if someone does not use the internet because of the pandemic, most of us are learning from home or are not attending school full time. Right? So that's the thing with that. So again, these are the things, these 10 I would really suggest you try your best to find, to utilize. Your newspaper or magazine article, your poem, lyrics from a song, a piece from a novel, a piece from a short story, a poster, a flyer, a speech, advertisement, comic strip. So as I was saying before, you cannot use three of the same types of artifacts. So you cannot give me 3 poems. You can't give me 3 posters, 3 speeches, 3 newspaper article or magazine article. You cannot. You could give me 2 of the same and 1 different. You can't give me 2 of the same and 1 different. However, it is best for you to give 3 different types. Now, why it is best for you to give 3 different types is that it could be possible that a year CXC decides we are not taking 2 of the same type as we did the previous year. We are insisting that 3 different types be given. So right now we are accepting 2 out of the 2 being the same. But that could change next year and you would not know. So as we say in Trinidad, take front. So you take front, you be proactive and try your very best, especially if you're in Form 4, to get 3 different types of stimuli or artifacts. Okay? Now, another thing, you should have artifacts that should be at least a page in length. I have seen some students give a quotation of 2 lines. Now, that probably could work, but most of the time, the students who use the quotation, it does not work well when they write their reflection. It was probably a good idea to them, but it did not really make sense, because really when you are asked in reflection 1, which we will speak about later on, which reflection 1 talks about what did you learn. If you have a quotation of a sentence, there isn't much you could say, is there? So it is best to get an artifact that's at least 1 page in length. So if you're getting a poem, make sure it's a couple of stanzas. If you're getting an extract from a short story, at least 1 page of the short story, at least 1 page of a novel, at least 1 article that's at least 1 page long, because we want you to have something to talk about in your reflections. If you don't have a long artifact, a significantly long artifact, you will not really have something to talk about in your reflection. So again, let me stop at this point and let me allow any questions.
While you're waiting on questions, sir,
Go ahead, miss.
I just wanted to say that I would encourage all students to at least include a poem as part of your artifacts, because for the same reasons sir said, and not just any poem, one that includes literary devices that you can analyze later on in your reflections. My students, a poem is a must. Okay? So I'm just throwing that out there.
Thank you very much, Miss, for that tip. People, listen to the tip. Miss is on my team of moderators, and when she gives you a little hint, you should take it. And actually, Miss actually is leading me into my next slide about what should we have in our artifacts or stimuli. So you see, take that little hint, try your best to get a poem. And by the way, people, you may think getting a poem hard. For example, there's some sites like Poetry Hunter and so on that you just have to search a topic and you're getting like 20 poems on the topic. It's going to be really easy. Give it a try for the poems. Okay, so any questions before we continue again?
Could you repeat that part about the poems, please?
Sure. What part about the poem, Kenneth? What in particular? Okay, so I'll just recap what Miss said, okay? So right, Miss was saying that in her class, she actually tells her students that they must have a poem because it's easy to get a poem on your topic, and also the poems have the language devices or language strategies that you are required to speak about in your reflections. So it's easier for you to always have a poem because it's easy for you to get information to speak about in reflection too. So that was Miss tip to everybody. If you have 3 artifacts, make sure one of them is a poem because it's very easy to speak about in your SBA. Okay? Kenneth, anything else you want me to clarify on that or repeat?
Okay. Thank you. I'm not sure if you can hear me, but
I'm
thank you.
hearing you. I'm hearing you well. Okay, great.
Okay, yes, I understand.
Okay, excellent. So we're going now to that point. This is a very, very, very important point because it saves you, the student. I have with my form class, many of them, they choose an artifact, they bring it to me, and I tell them, you can't use this because you don't have any language strategies in it. So to save you from carrying things to your teacher and your teacher saying, well, this is not the best to use, I'm going to give you some hints of things to look for in your artifacts. And if it's there, that's a good artifact to include. Carry it to your teacher for Miss Oster to look at. If none of these things that I'm going to speak about are there, you need to find something else. So your artifact or stimuli should have a simile or a metaphor or a personification or repetition. Those are the easiest to see. You could even have allusion and so on. So any of the literary devices we're looking at, but of course, simile, metaphor, personification, and repetition are the easiest to see and find by you students and also by us when we are checking the SBA. Examples and statistics and quotations from reliable sources. Those are things especially for your articles from a newspaper or a magazine. Those are things that we want to see. Does the article have an example about regarding the topic? Does it give you statistics? Does it quote a reliable source, a person who knows about that topic? Those are things to look for. If it doesn't have it, you need to get something else. Tone. Tone is very important, especially in things like poetry, short stories, novels, etc. You should look for tone. What type of tone does the writer use? Subheadings could work as well. You will find subheadings in your articles and magazine articles because just like your textbooks, they have subheadings so that you know exactly what that couple of paragraphs going to talk about. You have subheadings in articles. You have emotive language, which are words that evoke your emotions, that make you feel a certain way. That is also a nice literary device and language strategy to include. So before you even carry anything to your teacher, you could look at this list and ask yourself, does this artifact have it? Do all my artifacts have these things? If the answer is yes, you're on the correct path. If your answer is no, you may need to get another artifact. Okay? So that's something to do to make your life easy and to make your teacher's life easy because you will have good stuff to write. So I'll stop here a minute again. Let me allow any questions.
No, sir.
Okay. Yeah, somebody was asking.
Other than the poem, what are some other artifacts we could find with SBA?
Okay, so as I have here, I have a list of 10. You could use from list 10. Any of them. newspaper, magazine article, poem, lyrics from a song, a piece from a novel, piece from a short story, a poster, a flyer, speech, advertisement, comic strip. These are the ones that are easiest to write about. You are allowed to put links. However, it is best for you to copy the entire thing. If it's a poem, if it's a song, if it's a piece from a novel, and paste it onto the document. The reason is this. When we are correcting, the system we use to correct is called RM Assessor, and we cannot click links on that. So if your SBA is uploaded and you have a link to something, I can't click it. So if I can't click it, I cannot check to see if you actually had a simile in that. So that will be putting me in some problem when I'm marking your paper, your SBA. Okay, Sharon, is that clear to you? Right. So what I always tell the children to do, put your link, which is your source, and copy and paste as well. Do the both things. In that way, you covered, and we will be able to find and read the information in your artifacts, so we could check and see if your reflections are accurate and actually reflecting what is said in those pieces of research. Okay? Anything else before we move on? Okay then, so it seems we are good to move on. And this actually brings us to the end of our first session. It's very short because we're now starting off. So we've discussed the type of artifacts to use. We've discussed what to look for in your artifacts. We've discussed how your cover page should be. We've discussed what are all the components of your SBA. And we've discussed about choosing your topics and choosing proper subtopics. So what I will be doing, I will upload this session on YouTube and then post it on the page we have for students called Trinbago English Class, which is on Facebook. So you can look it up, and over there, as much as I can, I try to put material for English A and English B, so that students could benefit from them and, find something different from what you're doing in class. Because, I know some people get bored just taking down notes. So, and a little video or a little meme or a little cartoon does make things interesting. If you would like to attend our next session, which will be on the plan of investigation, most of you have already emailed me. You could just email me asking to get the link for the next session, and you could feel free to share this information regarding our sessions with your friends and classmates. Okay, the next session, let me just get that organized for you. For some reason, okay, so let me just stop sharing my screen for a minute. Yes, so Faith, it is a short session to begin with, because we only discussing the starting point of the SBA. The reason why I did that is because I know I would have some students here who are in Form 4 and some who are in Form 5. So the Form 5s, this will be something you already passed the stage. However, my Form 4s here will be probably now starting, right? So if you're in Form 5, of course, you have the opportunity to check your work. Form 4 students, you have opportunity to get ahead of your work. So what will happen is that, again, please send the let me just share back that again, right? So feel free to send me an email to about the next session. Yes, when is the next session? Thanks. Let me just get that organized for you. It's every 2 weeks. So today is the 3rd. So the next session will be on the 17th of October. And on the 17th of October, we will be looking at the plan of investigation. On the 17th of October, same time, same place, we'll be looking at the plan of investigation. Now, I know some of my Form 4s may not have started that, but guess what? You know, you could take some initiative, talk to your friends, try to put yourself in some groups, or just think about, you know, what you would like to, you know, your topics to be. And if your teacher hasn't started the plan of investigation, what you could do, you could come in to the next class. You come into the next class and tell me what are the topic and subtopics that you're going to use, and I'll tell you if it's workable. So where would the video be posted? It will be posted on the Facebook page called Trinbago English Class. Anyone can go and get it. And it will be also be on YouTube as well, because it will be a YouTube link. So if you're not on Facebook and you want to get it from YouTube, you could email me about that as well, because I cannot remember what my YouTube profile is. I'll have to figure that out before I post it, obviously. Right? And so again, on the 17th, we'll be discussing a plan of investigation. The Form 5s who are here, I want you to bring your plan of investigation on the 17th. And I want you to be able to read it for us, and I will give you some feedback about how to make it better, what to add, what to take away, and so you could actually just what you call this thing, when you so you could actually get an idea of how much you're going to score. Okay, it's talking open YouTube and share the link. Yeah, but I think I have to upload it. I have to upload the video first, of course. All right, so you could just if you're not on Facebook, you could just send me just send me an email and I'll send you the YouTube link, and you could just also share that with your friends and whatever, and or subscribe or whatever it is, do with the social media things. All right. I just find that Facebook is kind of easy to store information because it's just there to scroll up and down. So again, so you could do that. Follow the Trinbago English class. I'll put up this video, this class, this session. Email me about the next session, which is on the 17th, on the plan of investigation. I really would encourage my Form 5s here. Bring your plan of investigation. Let me hear it, so I can give you some feedback, and of course you will know how to score better. And of course, feel free to share these sessions and invite your friends and your classmates, because it's a very simple thing. Everybody here should share information to help their classmates, because this is what learning is about. As you probably have heard the phrase a lot, each one teach one. That's what we're about. This is why myself and Miss Alexandra Andrews decided to come out this evening, so that the students could benefit, you could share with your friends, and we will see better SBAs coming to us. Because we don't take any joy in having to mark down SBAs. We want you to get full 45. It doesn't have a limited amount of ones that CXE has. There's a one for everyone, but you got to earn that one. So we are here to help you earn that one by giving you the tools to produce an excellent English SBA. Also, I am posting a little survey for some feedback on today's class, that class session or workshop or whatever you want to call it. Please just click on it and have it open on another tab before you leave, and let me know some ways I could improve, what I should keep, what I should what I could do away with, because this is for your benefit and feedback is very important. We are not like other people, just listen to us and go your way. No, we want to hear from you. We want to know how to make ourselves better, because if you don't tell us, we can't help ourselves and be helping you. So this brings us to the close of today's, the first part of our English SBA student series, which covered the selection of topics. I do hope that everyone found the information useful. I will be posting it up, so you will be able to review it. It will be obviously on YouTube and on Facebook. And of course, I do hope that I see some of you in our next session on the 17th of October, where we'll be dealing with the plan of investigation. And we're going to be hearing some of the plans from the students themselves, which I'm looking really forward for, because I like to hear what students are doing, so I could, help my class and give them some ideas as well. Okay, so any last questions or comments before we close off for tonight?
Yes. Excuse me, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Does it matter where you place your artifacts? Because for us, we were told that we should place them in the appendix, so that's what we did. But in your format, I saw that you placed it after the plan of investigation, so I was just wondering.
Yeah. So you can't put it in the appendix. That's not a problem. The reason I gave this layout, it is really for the ease of those of us who are moderating. Because think about it. Imagine I'm reading your reflection 1, and I have to scroll straight down to the appendix and check your artifact, and then go back to reflection 1. And then I do the same thing for reflection 2. It's kind of burdensome. And, you don't want to frustrate the people who marking you. You want them to be happy, so they'll want to give you a good mark. Don't anger the people who marking you. There's nothing wrong with what you're doing. What I have here is simply the easiest layout for everyone. Okay? So, if you want to use this format, that's not a problem. If your teacher insists on putting the artifacts in the appendix, that's not a problem. You're not going to lose a mark at all for that. This is just layout, is just to make things easy for us who are moderating the SBA. Okay? All right, not a problem. Anything else? Any other question?
I just wanted to add that maybe you can do both. All right. More the merrier. It is not a matter of paper, since it will be uploaded. All right. So you can
Yes.
put a link to your pieces in your appendix and just put the actual printed document in the format that is suggested.
Yeah, that's a good idea as well. Of course, I'm not your teacher, Mrs. not your teacher. If your teacher is insisting on doing it that way, you got to do it that way, right? Because that's a teacher. We are just giving you the easiest way possible to do things. We are here about doing things easy, not hard. We are working smart. We are not working hard. Anything else? Any other question? Okay, then. So you are most welcome. So that's it for us for today on the first section on selecting topics. So those of you who would not have done your plan as yet, or in school, please work on your topics, work on your general topic, work on the subtopics, and you can share with us next week. Those of you already have your plan, bring your plan next week. We're going to go through the plan of investigation and show you how to score full 10 out of 10, which will work to 5 out of 5. Okay? So, again, anything before we close off today?
No, sir.
Okay, then. So,
No, sir.
once again, once again, thank you all for coming. Thanks for spending the time with us this evening. I do hope to see you on the 17th, and I'm looking forward to hearing your topics, your subtopics, and your plan of investigation. So take care, everyone. Stay home and stay safe if you can. I know some people are starting school from tomorrow, especially in Trinidad. So do take care of yourselves. And I do hope to see everyone on the 17th again. Again, thanks to Miss Alexander Andrews for participating and sharing today. Do appreciate it. And of course, I'll try my very best to have Miss with us again next time. Okay, everyone, take care. Please don't forget to fill out the survey form posted in the link. So that's it for us. See you next time.
Bye, sir. Take care.
Okay, take care, Miss.
Bye, sir, and enjoy your week.
You too.
So